If you want to talk empties for the month of February, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to talk empties for the month of February. I cannot believe it's already another month, although we know it's a shorter month. And I'm just feeling like I'm scrambling to show you these because the end of the month just was upon me and I was just not ready for it. But that said, it is the end of the month and I do have about 10, I think, empties to show you. Nothing huge, but some pretty significant products that I did finish that I think you would be interested in seeing. So let's get right into the empties. Short but good list. Okay, I think we'll start with skincare type stuff. The first one I finished was this Jouviance Correct, and it is a deep spot corrector, and I do use it on just the periphery of my face where dark spots can show up. I started having a pretty dark spot right here when I was around 35, and this type of product has made a very, very big difference. I did not find, though, that this brand worked as well as Paula's Choice and the Neutrogena type of products that I've used for color correction. And so I would not repurchase this one. I did use it to the very end, but it's not a product that I was impressed with. So I'm just going to not repurchase. But overall, do I recommend color correctors, meaning that act on a skin level, not just a concealer type product? Absolutely. They make a huge amount of difference, just huge. Speaking of Neutrogena, I also did finish another one of the Rapid Wrinkle Repair, and this is my ride or die, and right now I am trying the Neutrogena Retinol Oil. It is in my latest skincare brand new focus video, and I'll put it right there if you want to see more of what it is that I'm using right now in my skincare regimen. But this one, I think I've purchased, I know 4 for sure, but I'm pretty sure I've purchased more than that many so far, and one lasts a couple of months. And I really like the price on this serum, which is a retinol serum, and I think it works as well, if not better, than a number of other retinol products that are way more expensive than this. So I highly, highly recommend. Another product that I would definitely recommend, because it's $23 Canadian, which is crazy cheap for a brightening cream. And this is a cream that you can use in morning and evening. And it talks about it hydrates and depuffs. And I used the whole thing up like crazy. I was very sad to see it go, but I do have a number of eye creams at this point. I'm working through Rhodile. I have 2 from Lancôme. I have a lot of eye creams, so I won't be repurchasing this one for quite a while, but I'm very happy to have discovered it. It is a very good price for an eye cream, and I found it worked quite nicely, and I would not hesitate to repurchase. Next, I have a very small, this was actually technically a sample, but it's 50 ml, which I thought was a pretty good size. And it is the Marcelle 3-in-1 Micellar Solution. And it's basically a typical makeup remover. It's a Canadian brand, and I was very happy to use it. Now, this one was not the waterproof version, and I have purchased since then a few more of an actual for sale size of this based on how much I enjoyed this one. And despite the fact that it was not waterproof, it worked relatively well as long as I wasn't wearing waterproof mascara. If that was the case, then I used an oil-based product that would help me get the mascara off. But if that was not the case, this worked just fine. And the last skincare item I have is a body butter, and it is from Soap & Glory. And it is called the Lightly Whipped Body Buttercream. It's the smoothie line, I guess, and it is pistachio, almond, and sweet vanilla fragrance. And boy, does it smell wonderful. Yes, it definitely smells like pistachio and almond, no question. And I can definitely pick up the vanilla as well. So yeah, I really liked it. You can see that it is absolutely, completely empty. I managed to get a tiny bit out of it this morning to use as hand cream to make sure that it was completely, completely empty. And there really was not very much left in here. I really like the Soap and Glory body butters, and when I get down to having very little body butter left, it is definitely a brand that I won't hesitate to purchase again. I like their stuff quite a bit. I lied. I have another skincare item, and it is a serum that I'm a big fan of, and it's the Ole Henriksen Truth Serum. And it has an orange scent to it. It is a serum that I use in the morning. I use a different serum at night, and I really enjoy this, the feeling of it. And there's some controversy around the impact of scent in skincare, but to me, morning and night, I appreciate the fact that I have one skincare item with some sort of a very mild fragrance to it. It just makes the experience better, and I realize it's not as good for my skin, but I look at it this way. A slight fragrance in one of the products that I use for my skincare for morning or night actually makes me more compliant in doing my skincare routine, because it feels like, I guess, aromatherapy. There's a beneficial aspect to, like I said, a tiny bit of fragrance. I don't need perfumey stuff, but this is one that I really like, and I already have another bottle ready for me to use. Right now I'm using a different serum in the morning. I'm using the retinol oil, so I'm not using a brightening serum right now. But I am looking forward to using it again. And I actually purchased the really big guy. This one is what, an ounce, I think? This is 1.7 ounces, and I picked up the 3.4. So I obviously really, really like this serum and have no intention in to stop using it, basically. Highly, highly recommend. But I do bide my time and wait for a sale. Now for makeup. This is technically a sample, but it was the sample that would never die. And it is the Makeup Forever Aqua XL in M56 matte. So it's a matte brownie gray. And there is so much. If you get a chance to get a sample like this, this will last you a year. It certainly did for me. And I ended up not using it as a cream eyeshadow. I ended up using it as a base, where if I wanted a deeper eyeshadow to go on top of it, this is the base I was using along with a lighter base. So kind of like a two-tone eye primer. But this guy lasted me months and months and months, and I ended up having to depot it to get to everything in this little guy. And I'm glad I did, because I got a lot of product out, but at the same time, I'm sort of not happy I did, because it took me so darn long to finish it. But I did. I think Aqua XL is the whole line, they are very, very good products. But this one I would not purchase, because I just know that I would never, ever get through the product purchase. I'd rather have more of a pot type situation than a squeezy tube. And that's probably what would keep me from looking for this product again. I would not mind trying some of the Aqua XL pencils, but this version of the product, no, probably not. Next up is a depotted product, and I don't have the original packaging, but it is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. And I did enjoy using this product. I like using most primers, and I don't find that I have skin that requires specific primers. A lot of different primers work just fine for me. And I did enjoy using this one in my T-zone, so up here on my nose and on my chin. And I would not purchase the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer, because I can pretty much use any primer. So it was nice to use it, and I'm glad I had it as a deluxe sample, but I don't think that it is something that I would purchase. Just as I just mentioned, I don't really buy primers to begin with. So I'm fine with having used it, enjoyed it, and I finished it. So moving on. Next up is a setting spray. I finished up the MasterFix from Maybelline, and I do like this setting spray. I think it works fine. It has a pleasant smell. It works fine, like I said. I don't like the sprayer as much as I do the Urban Decay All Nighter though, but the spray itself I think works pretty well. So I ended up finding this one. Usually it's about $16 Canadian, and I ended up being able to pick up 4 of these bottles for $4 a piece. I guess they were getting older and they were clearing them out. So I've been working through these for a while, and I think the one thing that I would do differently is that I would transfer this setting spray liquid into an atomizer, a spray bottle that works better than this one. That would be the only complaint that I have, and I definitely would not be purchasing it necessarily for $15.99. But when I consider cost per milliliter from one setting spray to another, I do think that it is reasonable value, but I would definitely look for a sale somewhere between 30 and 50% off for repurchasing of this particular setting spray. If you want to know more about my thoughts on various setting sprays, I would direct you to this video. It is a battle of the brands, and I tell you what I thought of quite a number of setting sprays that I have tried out, and this one fared relatively well in the mix. So please check it out. For this next one, I did already talk about the Makeup Forever AQUA XL in M56 that I finished. Well, it was in this little container, which is a sample container from Sephora, and you'll see the deep brown there, but you'll also see kind of a shiny beige. And the AQUA XL was in here along with 2 other products, the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion and also the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Sin. And I'm very happy to say I finished the original sample earlier, and I am happy to say that not only did I finish the AQUA XL M56 out of this container, but I also finished the Urban Decay in Sin, which was a very blingy, a very satin finish primer, which I was using on the inner to center lid, but it was a lot more showy than I would want an eye primer to be, and so I was really happy to finish both of those products as eye primer. And the third one I mentioned in here, which was the original Urban Decay, I would have loved for this whole container to be that one because I really, really like that formula and would definitely recommend. It lasts forever and it does a very good job. I have another little sample container here. I just want to mention it because of the fact that I did finish this, and it was a remnant of a Sephora medium brown brow wax pencil, and I managed to finish that as well. And it is also showing up in my rolling project pan update, so I wanted to make sure to include it here so that you weren't wondering why it wasn't showing up as well in my empties, even though the original packaging has been long gone for some time now. 2 more products. One of them is this Hourglass Caution Mascara. Now this is a deluxe sample. I think it was 2 ml in here. It's in ultra black. I'm trying to see if I can see a size. I'm pretty sure it was 2 ml. Anyway, this is what the wand looks like. Now I like the triangular shape. It makes it very easy to open it up and close it up again. It's not a mascara that I would say was great for me because I really like volume. Right now I have the Lancôme Hypnose Drama, which gives me a lot of volume on my lashes. But if you like length and definition, I think that this mascara is a very good one. I thought it did a good job for that kind of a look, and I'm glad I got a chance to try it, but it's not a mascara that would be a choice that I would proactively make. But as I said, it's kind of a personal preference. If you prefer length and definition, then you would like this mascara. If you prefer volumizing and thickening, then maybe this mascara would not be my first recommendation for you. So I would suggest the Monsieur Big from Lancôme, the Stila Huge. What other one would I recommend? I think the L'Oreal Lash Paradise works really great. Too Faced better than Sex, although I would suggest the waterproof as opposed to the original, because the original, at least one tube of it did flake on me quite a bit. Yeah, so anyway, I am happy I tried it. I'm happy I finished it, and yeah, would not repurchase. And finally, I'm very proud of this final container. I finished a powder. The Fit Me powder in 010 from Maybelline, and I had actually added in a bit of a Rimmel powder as well to this, so it increased the volume, but I did finally finish it, and you'll see there's a little bit left in the corner, but for the life of me, I have tried and I can't get it out of this container, and I have enough powder that this tiny bit of powder left in here I'm not going to fuss over, but I'm very happy that I finished it and that I can move this container out of my everyday makeup drawer, and it's getting replaced by a CoverGirl powder in, I think it's 105. So yeah, happy to be moving this Fit Me powder out. I like the Maybelline powder. Don't get me wrong, it's just that I like to rotate brands, and it's so nice that I have finished this and I can just move on and try different types of powder. I just felt like in the last 6 months I had to focus on this and just finish it, just because I was tired of seeing it in my drawer. But yeah, powders take a really long time to finish. And it's really going to curb my interest in purchasing any more of them prematurely, is what I'll say. So that is it. I ended up having 11 product, really large samples and full-size products, and then these last little two that I guess officially make it 13, but I think those are just, they're honorable mentions, but I don't think they really 100% count for empties, but I wanted to mention them anyway because you're going to see them as empty containers for my rolling project pan, and I just want to be thorough with you and cover everything that I should. Let me know what you think of the products I've finished. Do you have any loves in there, or do you have some products that you would recommend we avoid? Please let me know in the comments. It's always nice to learn each other's preferences, likes, dislikes, and why. And so that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But for now, take care.